Hello everyone, hopefully you're all doing good. This is a development update for Chronos Trials RPG. I wanted to just show what I've done in the past month because the demo came out last month and I just want to show how much things have progressed since then. So first of all, you'll notice immediately we've got this new kind of graphic going on. If I quickly start, there we go. So this is the new title screen for PC. I've got rid of the black bars either side now. And on top of that, there is now full controller support. You're able to do sort of the basic things like navigating menus before, but I've added functionality for everything in the game now. So, if we press R2 and L2, we can now swap between the two menus, which is very nice. And R1 and L1 swaps between the item sets. And then if you press triangle or start, either of them work, you get to go to the menu where you can just change anything you want. Equipment, skill tree. So yeah, you can do everything on a controller now. And to kind of address another question, with spells or skill-based weapons, you simply swap between the two spells with L2 and R2. There we go. Summon Leech now. No, never mind. That fight went a bit quick. Yeah, you can see I'm on Leech. And yeah, you can just swap between them whenever you want. So that is that. There's now full controller support. I can guarantee that it'll work on USB PS4 controllers because that's what I've been testing. My laptop is really temperamental when it comes to Bluetooth, so I can't test that. And I don't know how it functions with other types of controllers. In theory, it should work with every controller because of the way I've coded it, but I can't promise anything. I can only really guarantee that these DualShock controllers work, PS4 controllers. But everything else should work. If they don't, let me know. I'll look into it, see if I can fix it. But yeah, that's the controller support added. On top of that, what was that? No, controller support, new graphic. Yeah, on top of that, there's, I want to say 4 new maps. This part is going to be a little bit spoilery. I'm going to kind of really briefly go over it. I'm not going to go into detail by any means. But if we go back, yeah, this part is kind of showing the new maps. So if you don't want to see those and you want to be surprised, honestly, you're probably good to skip to the time I put up above here. That time will be where spoilers stop. So, ready? We have Tower 3F. This is where normal mode finishes. We get this door that's locked. Going through there will take you to here now. We have 11 enemies in this room, I believe. 4, 7, 10. Yep, 11. With 5 bosses. And there's a little bit more going on in this area, but I don't want to spoil that. But there's a little bit more going on here than what it looks like. So, yeah. Then we have the market. And this is the first time we're introduced to an NPC in this game. You can talk to Dean here, and you can choose to help him in exchange for benefits in the game. Let's put it that way. I don't want to sort of go too in detail here. Then we have Lost Forest. And this is probably my favorite map in the game currently in terms of music and I guess just the enemies in it. I like the area. The item drops are really strong here. This is the part of the game where it really starts to ramp up in terms of difficulty and the quality of the items you get. That doesn't mean every item is going to be mythic or legendary. I have kept drop rates. I'll kind of walk you through what my process is for drop rates and item drops. Every single area, I try to have at least a few common items and a few legendary items or rarer items like rares and epics. It's not a matter of the game starts at common and as you get further and further it just turns to like epic and legendary. That won't be the case. Even at the very, very end of the game, there will still be common items that have like a 5% drop chance or something like that. The way I kind of describe it is an area, for example, will have common items that will be good for the time, but maybe get outdated a little bit in a map or two. And also have legendary or epic items that will kind of last you for a few more maps. So if you get those, you're kind of good to really push forward. And then it carries on with the maps after that. So yeah, the common items will always be good for the area you're in. And they won't necessarily be weaker than you'd expect. And and common items will generally be stronger than epic items from a few maps before them, if that makes sense. That's kind of what I'm aiming to do. So yeah, essentially, if you get a legendary or an epic, great. It helps you massively with the progress for a little bit and gets you to farm other enemies easier in the area, but it doesn't necessarily mean you've now just won the game. That you'll still need to get item drops consistently. So that's kind of the mindset I have when it comes to items and their drop rates. So for example, even in this area, we've got the first mythic item in the game here. That's in normal mode. First mythic item is here somewhere. Probably not where you'd expect as well. And yeah, we've got a few commons as well dotted about here, and some of them are really, really strong. So that's item drops. But we have this. We have the Runic Cave, which has 10 bosses in it. And then we have the Lost Forest, or the Lost Maze even. Forest Maze, still, yeah. This one's interesting. It looks a little bit, I wouldn't say easy, but you are quite zoomed in, and the entire map loops on itself. So as you move down here, for example, you will teleport all the way back up here, and then move up that way. So it's a little bit disorientating, but it is a maze, it is meant to be. But I've not built it for the purpose of being frustrating. I've got a few chests dotted about that you can kind of work out how to get to, and they do drop pretty good items. And a couple of sort of bosses as well that are kind of off the main path, and also have really quite solid item drops. So that is as far as I've got currently. There's going to be more enemies in this area, like these large sort of squares are where I'll put normal enemies, so you can kind of farm in this area as well. I just haven't made them yet, so yeah, that is everything I wanted to show in the game. And this is where spoilers kind of stop. So, from here, I have started making a wiki as well. And this is very much like Inflation RPG. It's a wiki to show sort of all of the items that are in the game, all of the enemies, maps, everything possible. There's going to be guides here as well. I'm going to write kind of a massive article going through the entire game, sort of pointing out what drops are important, how you can progress, things you need to look out for, things like that. So if you ever get stuck, you can just reference a guide, kind of go, okay, I need to get this item next to be able to progress, and then you can go from there. I'll quickly just show you what a page looks like in this. There we go. So this is the relics page. We have 17 relics at the minute. I'll go up to about here, I'd say. Yep. And there's a few more that you won't have seen yet, and they'll be at the bottom. If you want to check out everything that's going to be coming to the game, this is how you're going to do it. I'll try and avoid spoilers where I can in the Discord and stuff, but if you just want to know everything that's going to come to the game, all of the new items that are being added, this is the place you can do that. All of it will be here. All of the information that is necessary is kind of here. We have boss requirement, and then, you know, village, Vincent, all of that sort of stuff. So you can just sort of see where you can unlock the relics. And this is also true for other elements, for example, accessories. I still need to put all of the icons in. That is going to take me a while. But yeah, as you can see, we've got sort of all the accessories, and here we go. This is where I've started filling it in. Yeah, all of the information's shown here. You can see sort of how much defense plus, or percentage even. The drop rates as well are on here as well. There we go, so you've got 8% for Feather of the Forest Watcher. I felt like this is quite an important item, getting lifesteal, so I've given it quite a nice drop rate. Yeah, everything accessory-wise is on this page. You've got, you know, your weapons as well. I need to change how this table's formatted because I've done it not so great. This is my first one I made. But yeah, that is everything. So this will be updated regularly. It'll, you know, look nicer, and yeah, just have everything necessary on it. And finally, there is a Linktree if you're not aware. I have an Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, obviously a YouTube, you're watching it on YouTube, Twitter, X, not real, Twitch, and a Blue Sky as well. So if you're on any of those platforms and you want to support the game, it would mean a lot if you followed or subscribed or anything like that and interacted with some of the posts on there. I am going to post a little bit more regularly in these places. I just genuinely haven't had the time. I've just been working on the game itself. But that was everything. And then, of course, the demo for the game is on that link if you haven't downloaded it yet, or perhaps haven't installed the latest update, which is 1.4. In terms of demo updates, I probably won't be doing any more. just because so much of the game has changed that if I were to do a new version of the demo, it would probably ruin save files, and I don't want to do that because I've already done that a few times with updates. So demo 1.4 will be the last one for the demo, and this page will probably be taken down when the game comes out on Steam. Purely because I don't think I can have it on Steam and here at the same time. I do need to read into the clause a little bit more. But yeah. I will probably have a version of the demo available in a Discord server for people who want to try out the game without buying it. That's probably where I'll have it. So don't worry about that. It just necessarily won't be on this page. So yeah, that is everything. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this has given you a little bit of insight into how the game development is going, where you can access some new information, find out about the things being added to the game. And if you have any questions, let me know in this Discord, let me know in the comments. You know, email me if you want to. Chronos Trials RPG at gmail.com. Yeah, thank you. Have a good day. Hopefully you're enjoying the demo. Hopefully you're excited for the game. Have a good day. See you.